just say what we're here to do.
Okay.
Which is to educate the masses about sugar.
All right. So, hi, I'm Brian.
I'm Joe.
And you're listening to Sugar Facts.
Welcome.
Broadcasting live. Well, we're live.
We're live to us. But
to us.
To you, this is a recording several weeks later.
Yeah.
We're recording from a sugar factory in Taiwan.
So, actually, we are from the future.
We are from the future.
We are from the future. We're several weeks in the future. And let me tell you, shit has gotten real.
Yeah.
If you're listening to this now in the past, get ready.
Get ready. So, you know it's actually the other way around, right? We're recording from the past. We're recording from the past, and they're going to listen to it in the future.
Right.
So let's talk to futures then. Do you guys have, like, flying skateboards yet?
Right. I get it. Yeah.
Is Trump still president?
So we're writing to you from we're talking to you from the past.
Yeah.
And I don't want these mushrooms to get cold, so let's just
hey.
Welcome
to Sugar Facts, episode 8.
Episode 8.
It's a pleasure.
Do the thing.
Do the thing. Yum yum yum. Oh man, yum. That whole thing was a journey. And the final destination was...
Coconut County.
Coconut County. Toot toot.
Next stop.
Final station.
Coconut County.
Yum, that was so good.
That was good. And now the fun thing is that we can just...
We've got all this. Yeah.
Yeah, let's set it
that
aside.
That was delicious. Coconut-based, so we're quickly discovering that dairy-based, coconut-based is really our vibe.
Pineapple juice, coconut rum. A little bit of blue curacao just for color, and anejo rum, which is a very nice rum.
It sounds terrible. An a-hole rum.
Anejo.
Oh, anejo. That is slightly more forgiving. Slightly more forgiving. Okay, I'm going to start cooking. Are you hungry? Could you eat soon?
Absolutely.
If I make our entrees?
Yeah, I want to do it all official though.
Smell that. Smell it.
Oh, sorry.
Smells like mushrooms.
It does smell amazing.
Yeah.
Wow.
Shall I tell you what I did?
Yes, please.
Oil and butter. So for those at home, if you missed last week, Brian finished the show by placing a very specific order for a Tudor-style meal.
It's true, I did.
Entrees, he said. He wanted sautéed mushrooms, which I have prepared this evening. I'm going to walk you through it. I did butter and oil in a pan, and then I did mushrooms first. I would not have done that, but I did look it up on the internet.
Oh, yeah.
And it said do mushrooms first. Then I put in onions and garlic. And then I put in, you'll never guess what, sweet potato leaves.
No? Wow, where'd you find those?
From my garden. And then just for a little kick at the end, I put in a little bit of chili from my garden.
Nice.
But not much, because I've not got much left.
Okay. It looks and smells amazing.
I think it might be not a bad one. I don't think I've done badly.
Imagine, for those of you out there with imaginations, imagine the smell of sautéed mushrooms.
And you can hear it.
And that's it. Oh, you can hear it too.
Let's
see if they can hear it.
They'll definitely be able to hear that on our new microphone that we buy. Oh, Moose just called you. Oh, an hour.
That was an hour. Is it? Okay, I'm so sorry.
What? Is this recording?
Everything's fine. Everything's fine.
So our entrees are this. And something real fun happened with the soup. It was perfect.
Uh-huh.
And then I put it to the side, everything's fine, and it must have still just been kind of hot in there, because then I opened it to come here.
Yeah.
And there's like all the liquid just went away.
Oh, because you put the pasta in, right? You put the noodles in.
Oh, it's soaked in all the pasta?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
That's okay, though. But you know what? Just put more water. Just put more water. It's fine.
Look.
Yeah. We also have water.
Cool it. Problem solving.
You said cool it?
No?
I said cool it.
Cool it, bro. Oh, is that what happened to all the liquid? Because I just checked it before I left, and I was like, what? Okay, so main course is almost ready.
Sautéed mushrooms, Tudor style.
Yeah.
Amazing.
Googled how they did it in the Tudor times, and this is exactly how they did it.
Yeah. Well, that little burner looks like it's from that time.
Yeah. Well, thank you. I realize now you're insulting me. But I love this handy little burner. Just cook wherever I want, you know? I could go down to 7-Eleven and cook it. Should we... I don't want to be bossy. Should we have that wine?
Oh, yeah.
It's just because it's Tudor. I'm just trying to... I'm so sorry. I'm just...
Oh, it's okay.
So, no, I was thinking the ones with handles.
Oh, the bottom?
Don't you think? Because they kind of seem like goblets.
Sure.
We don't have to pour them full of red wine because then we'll be totally dead. It just looks a bit... So, for reference, the Sugar Factory here has some shiny metal goblet-style glasses. And to complete the Tudor effect, we're going to have some nice boxed wine. Oh, good. Okay, yum. I just think this will really round out the effect.
Okay.
Thanks. We're a middle-class Tudor family. Should I put some wine in there?
Yeah, you should. You definitely should. But then, when you cook with alcohol, you don't really want it to boil.
Oh, didn't know that.
Because then you're going to boil up on booze.
Ugh. Then we just throw
And
it
then
in
you're
the
just left with
trash.
fucking soup. Like a fucking animal. What is this, a bowl of soup?
How am I supposed to put this in my body? What effect is it going to have on me? Nutrition?
What? I don't understand.
What?
Do you need help with something?
Well,
Seems like you
I
might.
actually have an idea.
Oh, okay.
I'm still sipping slowly.
All right. Hey, Joe.
Is that tequila?
No, it's rum.
No, I'm going to ask
Lovely,
you
lovely
for your
rum.
sugar facts.
Do it.
And then I'm going to interrupt my context.
Do it.
Max, cut that out.
Do it.
So, Bri, what is your sugar fact for this evening?
Sugar fact for this evening. I'm glad you asked. My sugar fact for this evening has to do, funny enough.
Oh, I'm so sorry.
What do you mean? What?
I just have something I want to interject with.
All right.
Is it okay? I'm
no,
sorry.
No, yeah, go ahead.
No.
Go ahead. No.
No,
It's,
you
know
go.
what? It
No,
just seems
you
like
go.
if I continue now.
I just am not going to listen.
Exactly.
I'm just really going to want to talk about my
that's not
thing.
what I was going to say, by the way.
Oh.
But now,
But I interrupted again.
Yeah, you're not going to listen, right? Go ahead. We're all waiting with bated breath.
Well, you say that with some passive-aggressive tone, which makes me realize that maybe you're not as good a friend as I thought you were. I don't know why I went that route. That came out before I thought about it.
Should we just stop doing this?
Yeah.
Let's fuck this podcast.
It is the last episode,
We
right
almost fucking
before
made it.
the launch.
We almost made it to the launch.
almost made it to the launch.
Yeah.
Okay, so I've been doing some reading this past week about conspiracy theory. Conspiracy theories, depending on how you want to talk about it.
I fucking hate conspiracy theories.
What?
Yeah, I hate them.
Okay, what's a conspiracy theory?
To me, I like 9/11.
Okay, but give me a definition of what a conspiracy theory is.
A conspiracy theory is an attempt by scared people that want a fucking big daddy or mommy to fucking explain everything for them because they're too freaked out by the randomness and chaos of the world.
Of the world. Okay. That's an interesting take. I also have the Oxford definition if you want it. I don't know if it would be helpful. I don't know if it would be complementary to what you just said. Basically, conspiracy theory is a theory... Oh, that's music next door.
Perfect timing.
Is the theory that an event or phenomenon occurs as a result of... This doesn't seem right. They've used the word conspiracy in the definition of a conspiracy between interested parties, specifically a belief that some covert but influential agency is responsible for an unexplained event. An actual conspiracy is the real plot. So if something actually happens, that's a conspiracy. There's a difference between a conspiracy and a conspiracy theory.
Right.
So conspiracy theory is that 9/11 was a government job.
Yeah.
A conspiracy is that, this is a shout out to Iranian listeners, that the US tried to overthrow the Iranian government. So that's a real
But that's a real... that was a real
thing. So that's
thing.
why that's a conspiracy.
That's a real thing.
That's not a conspiracy theory.
Oh,
that's
conspiracy theory is
different.
Yeah, okay. I agree with that.
So okay, that's good.
Oxford Dictionary. Carry on.
FYI,
Carry on.
You're doing a great job.
You're doing a great job. I approve.
Stamp of approval from Brian.
Yeah.
So conspiracy theories were once a fringe thing, fringe audiences, but they've now recently become a major cultural phenomenon in the US.
Oh, yeah.
So, for example, a study conducted in 2016 found that 10% of Americans think the chemtrail conspiracy is completely true, and 20 to 30%,
Morons.
20 to 30% think it is somewhat true.
Also morons.
This puts the equivalent of 120 million Americans in the chemtrails are true
It's
camp.
like everyone over the
It's
age
a lot
of
of
20.
people. The population of my entire country
How
is
many?
22 million.
That's
Actually, it might be
insane.
24 million.
Really?
But 120 million Americans believe that chemtrails are real.
Yeah.
So that's wild.
Sorry.
Hmm?
I'm sorry about that.
Well, you guys should really be apologizing for Trump more than anything.
How many times can I?
Let me just get my self-flagellation whip out again. So Michael Barkin has identified 3 classifications of conspiracy theories.
Who's he?
Would you like to... He's a philosopher. I actually do that. I do know that. He's a philosopher. He's got 3 theories. I'm not saying this is be data-driven. I thought it was interesting.
Okay.
So there are 3 different categories of conspiracy theories. So number 1 is event conspiracy theories. So this refers to a limited and well-defined set of events.
Right.
So it could include the Kennedy assassination, 9/11, the spread of AIDS. That's like a specific event.
Yeah.
Number 2 is systemic conspiracy theories. So the conspiracy is believed to have broad goals, usually conceived as securing control of a country or region or the entire world.
Yeah.
The goals are sweeping, while the conspiratorial machinery is generally pretty simple. A single evil organization implements a plan to infiltrate and subvert existing institutions.
The Jews.
That's exactly it. So Jews, Freemasons, communism, the Catholic Church, that kind of conspiracy theory.
Can I interject right now?
That you believe that the Catholic Church is trying to run the world? No. Go on.
I have a shorthand now I do at the bar because for some reason, I don't know what it is about being an expat, but I find that a lot of expats get sucked into this shit.
Oh, yeah.
It's
to
a weird degree.
To move here, you have to be a little bit loose.
Is that it? I don't know what it... No, I actually know exactly what it is.
What do you think it is?
I know what it is.
What?
All it is a... it's a kind of more complex culture shock. Right? Everybody thinks of culture shock as some timid person that never left their country and then they go abroad and they just can't deal with how much traffic there is or all the weird languages. Right?
Yeah.
And that is definitely true, and that happens a lot. But but also culture shock is it's just a slightly more sort of elaborate form where someone moves here and they start a whole new life here, but they don't interface with the local culture in any meaningful way at all. And that could be not learning the language. That could be not exploring the food or the music or all different sort of facets, right? And so then what happens is that people sort of retreat into themselves. And because we are living in the sort of age of the internet, that's the little escape valve that people have now, right? And so I feel like it's this thing gets twisted in their head where they're like, well, I'm currently living in a situation where I don't really get what the fuck is going on. I don't really understand what's going on around me because I haven't, frankly, taken the time to fucking learn it. Right?
Yeah.
But no one's going to admit that, or these people don't admit that. So instead, it's way more comforting to be like, oh, it's the fucking Illuminati, it's all this other shit, right? So it's all this weird sublimation.
That's a very interesting take, and I don't disagree with it.
And okay, so this all started with my shorthand.
Yeah.
Because I have had a multitude of conversations like this with bar patrons, and a lot of them long-termers. So now whenever anybody starts with hey man, you know about chemtrails or you know about vaccines, now what I do is I'm like, can we just get to the end where you blame the Jews? Can we just get to the end part?
Yeah.
Where you just it's the fucking Jews.
Yeah.
Can we just skip over all the other shit?
Do it.
And you know what? I'm almost always right. I'm almost always fucking right because there's a little and then they'll explain the thing, and then 20 minutes later they'll be like, and anyway, the Jews.
Yeah.
That's what I said. Can we just skip all that?
I told you, let's skip.
Sorry.
Yeah. No, it's totally relevant, and it links into what I was going to say later.
I'm so sorry.
No.
I'm so sorry.
Yeah.
Sorry.
All you've done is set me up for my actual section, which is going to come after your section.
Okay, good.
I agree with you, and I think that's a very interesting take on why people here are into conspiracy theories. I also think a lot of the people that come here they come here because they can succeed here. They wouldn't be able to succeed anywhere else because they're fucking crazy. That's my negative, pessimistic theory. Because I'm a dick. Number 3, super conspiracy theories. These theories link multiple alleged conspiracies together hierarchically. At the summit is a distant but all-powerful evil force. So kind of like a supernatural version of the one that we just talked about. Cited examples are ideas by David Icke and Milton William Cooper.
How is your dad these days?
Yeah, great question. Yeah, as Brian just mentioned, my father's name is David Icke.
He's a lizard.
He's a lizard. No, his thing is that everyone else is lizards. Yeah, so the idea that everyone else is the royal family are alien lizards ruling the world. That's an example of super conspiracy theories. I know this sounds dry, but I found all of this to be very interesting because I just didn't realize there was actually like a theory behind conspiracy theories. You know, people study conspiracy theories as like a social phenomenon.
As they should.
To the point that there's categories. I thought that
I like this.
Was interesting.
Yeah, no, it's fascinating.
I have one more background section, but then I'd like to know if you had any conspiracy theories you want to talk about.
Nope.
Interesting.
Just content to listen tonight.
Okay. So this next section, talking about Americans and the general vibe of paranoia. Yeah, you guys got it. There is evidence that a wide range of the US maintains a belief in conspiracy theories. So talking about chemtrails, white supremacist stuff, basically anything anti-Semitic. So it has like a real foothold in the US. It's often tied to ideas of hyper-nationalism and religious fundamentalism. So why is this, I hear you ask?
I did.
You did?
Under my breath.
Okay.
The music is drowning it out.
It's drowned it out. Historian Catherine Olmsted cites 3 main reasons Americans are prone to believe in government conspiracy theories. So the first main reason is that there have been cases of genuine overreach and secrecy, such as during the Cold War.
Sure. Yeah.
So the Nixon cover-up in Watergate. Have you heard about the Tuskegee syphilis experiment?
Yes.
Yep. So for those not familiar, thanks, Brian. Do you want to tell the listeners what that was?
No. You go ahead.
So maybe did you nod that you knew what it was?
I know what it is. It's the black Air Force guys that were. Yeah, I know.
More or less. So basically between the 30s and the 70s, so 40 fucking years, this group of African American men were told they were receiving free healthcare. But actually what was happening is some of them had syphilis, some of them didn't, and they were just being experimented on by the government. Even like when penicillin was invented as a cure, these men weren't given penicillin because they wanted to see what would happen. Yeah, super fucked.
That's super fucked. And that actually happened.
So that's why.
Sure.
So that's why.
Yeah, so that's why then, like, if you're in the African American community in the States, like in the 80s and 90s, you know, you'd be like, yeah, dude, the government fucking invented AIDS to fucking take us out.
Yeah, there's precedent.
That's not an insane thought at that point,
No. And then the second reason is that there is also precedent set by official government-sanctioned conspiracy theories for propaganda. So situations where the government has itself planted propaganda conspiracy theories. So the idea of German infiltration during World War II.
Right.
Or the idea that Saddam Hussein played a role in the 9/11
Yeah,
attacks.
right, exactly, yeah.
Government conspiracy theories. And the final one is general distrust. One more time.
Yeah.
General distrust fostered by governments spying on and harassment of dissenters, such as the Sedition Act of 1918. Well, it basically forbade the use of disloyal language about the US or war language or the war effort, or the various Red Scares during the Cold War. So it's for those reasons that Americans have actually been primed to believe in conspiracy theories.
Yeah.
I thought that was very interesting.
That is very interesting.
Yeah.
Was that the end?
That's the end of my theory.
No, that's very interesting. Yeah, you're right. So then in that case, You know, I guess maybe I could back off a little bit from my utter contempt for all these people.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
So it could be, okay, a little bit of movie hero, reverse culture shock, things like that.
But
Not
also,
even reverse. But also
yeah.
if they are in any way aware of the things that we've just talked about,
Yeah.
there is some reason to be skeptical. If anything, there's a healthy skepticism. And I guess that's what I was trying to say about... I mean, I said it in a really negative way. Like, a lot of people move here because they're a bit nuts.
Yeah,
but
yeah.
at the same time, a lot of people move here because they're determined to think differently. And they want to
God,
live
yeah, I know. But I don't want to give them that.
No,
I don't want to give them that because they're so, like... They're so self-satisfied.
Well,
They would be the first ones to tell you that.
Yeah.
I moved here to think a little differently because I'm a rebel, you know, and I'm just instantly cringing inside. I'm like, oh my god, you
But then
are.
again, I think I do that sometimes.
You're not going to say that, though.
You can think it, but you don't say it.
If
And
you
that's what
said
makes
that,
you better than the others.
we wouldn't be sitting here right now. There's no way I would do a podcast with someone like that.
I think I've said things like that to my mom. I'm such a dick. Because I often feel like I have to defend my choice to be here.
Yeah.
So I have to defend that I went one way,
Yeah.
and then looks like I gave up. You know,
Yeah.
if you don't know me very
I
well,
understand
it
what you're
just
saying, yeah.
looks like I gave up.
Yeah.
So I often feel like I have to amp it up a bit more.
Sure. Like
And one way of amping it up is be like, actually, I just realized. Actually, I just took the blue pill.
Oh god.
Is it the blue pill or red pill?
I don't
took
know.
the blue pill.
I don't know which one. Which is the one? Which is the one that all the men's rights activists are going on about?
I
Dude,
don't know.
Can we please
I
have
don't
an
read-
episode
I
about
don't read
that?
enough about men's rights.
Can we please have an episode about
Yeah.
that?
Should I write that down?
Those are the most pathetic
But
people
what-
on the fucking planet.
Should we write about alternate activists? So,
Okay, well then I'm gonna do.
You're going to do
the
men's
MRA,
rights. I'll do pro-China.
Okay. Oh, I like that. Yeah, that's good. Oh, that's good. Pro-China
Yeah.
here in town. So that was way more topical and.
I just like politics. Alternate activists. That's what I'm going to put down.
Okay.
Yeah. So that might be a reason why people are primed towards conspiracy theories.
Yeah, fine. I got it. Thank you, though. Thank you. All right, but this is my real one. It's my favorite one. Are you ready?
Yes.
On November 9th, 1966. So November 9th, 1966.
It's very close in year to mine.
Oh, is it? I already know yours. If you write November 9th, 1966 in the American way, it's 11-9, right?
Yeah.
But if you write in the British way, what is it?
9/11. I believe it already.
It has nothing to do with the rest of the story. Literally has nothing to do with the rest of
Did you
this.
know that Donald Trump was elected on the 11th of November?
Yes, I did.
No, you didn't.
Of course I did.
9/11.
Yeah.
Fine.
No, I mean, I'm American.
Yeah, but did you know it was 9/11?
How do I not know that?
But did you know it was 9/11?
Yeah, how would I not know that?
Well, I didn't know people were saying that.
Oh, okay, anyway. I did know that.
This was fun.
I'm sorry. Now I feel bad for knowing that. No, I feel bad. Like I somehow...
Don't hold yourself back, Brian.
I
Just
feel
be you.
sorry that I knew that.
You.
Anyway, now you're going to make me start all over. And now, you know what?
Make me
You know
snort
what?
rum into my nostrils.
I'm going to leave out the 9/11 stuff. I'm
Does
not.
that take away from
it doesn't.
everything? Yeah.
No, it doesn't. On November 9th, 1966, 9/11 in British way of doing
Sure.
Woo.
Ew.
Paul McCartney was decapitated in a car crash.
Ew, I am betraying how little I know or care about music. Didn't know that's how he died.
Do you know who Paul McCartney is?
Yeah, the Beatles. Thank you. The Monkees, I know.
Nice. And was soon replaced.
Ooh.
Thank
Thank
you.
I'm just going to do that. For
Yeah,
everything
please
you
do,
say,
please
yeah.
do, please do. Hold on, I gotta take a piss. And was soon replaced, unbeknownst to the public, by a look-alike with equal or better musical abilities. Did you not know about this?
That he was decapitated?
Paul McCartney was decapitated in a car crash in 1966
Yeah.
and was replaced by a look-alike.
That claimed to be Paul McCartney.
Yeah.
Now I'm understanding the tone that we're taking. Got it. God. Well, at least it was shorter than that time we did the creepypasta.
I'm not done.
All right.
I'm sorry. Anyway, this imposter is called Fall.
F-A-L-L. Okay.
No, F-A-U-L.
Okay.
Fall. Because
so like
Paul. Yeah.
Got it. Creative.
And he's been living with us until this very day.
Wow.
Okay, here's something I think that is going to make this a little bit more impactful for you.
Good luck. Go on.
Paul McCartney is still alive.
Such a mean thing to say. Yeah, that's why I was like, I didn't know he was ever decapitated.
Okay.
Like,
this is great. We're communicating.
that's still warm.
Is it really?
Yeah.
How is that possible? It's amazing.
Anyway, get in on this.
I am going to in a second, as soon as I finish this.
Yeah. Okay, yeah. So Paul McCartney is still alive.
So yeah, Paul McCartney's still alive. Like, I feel like that's the
But he might be
replacement.
raw.
So this is a thing that's been going around since like 1969, I think, 1967.
Interesting theory. And on what basis do people think that our Paul is not the real Paul?
Well, let's get into it.
Great. Happy to help.
I was gonna say you're welcome, but I should be saying thank you. So this guy wrote an essay. It was supposed to be a review of the album Abbey Road.
But instead,
he laid out the details that became the cornerstone, and they're going to be... It's really interesting.
Oh, your face.
That it happens whenever I talk.
Yeah. Do you think it might be the ghost of Paul McCartney?
Yeah, I think it's fucking Paul McCartney
not
fucking with
wanting
me.
the truth.
Don't tell him about my death.
Don't tell him my pretty head, come here.
My pretty, pretty head. God, I actually practiced the fucking accent before we got
British
here tonight.
accent?
No, specifically the Scouse accent.
Wait, is this? I'm gonna be doing. Oh,
A little bit later, yeah, a little bit
I
later.
don't remember anything.
You've got to talk like this.
You've got to talk like this.
No. We'll try it again. And I am not the best
told you
teacher.
I can't do
It's a little bit of a lilting thing.
I can't do accents. I told you already.
That is exactly correct.
It's like kind of Irish.
It's like you've channeled the spirit of fake Paul McCartney.
Nailed it.
So this guy was like, he was at a college newspaper, and he's like, I'm going to review the new Beatles album, Abbey Road. But then what he did was he's like, I'm going to blow the fucking lid off
blow
this
this
thing.
wide open.
So he says, on the morning of October 14th, the university community awoke to the shocking and incredible report that one of the world's most regular?
Just a regular guy.
He ate a lot of bran.
He's the most regular white bread dude.
Yeah, popular is the word. And beloved entertainers was no more. This is the headline. McCartney dead. New evidence brought to light.
Oh.
So, check it out. This is like at the height of Beatlemania.
Yeah.
Like, have you ever seen some...
Everyone's like losing their shit.
Yeah, you've seen the old footage,
Oh my
right?
god.
I mean,
They're like,
losing their
the women
fucking
are
minds.
They're just gone.
Losing their fucking minds, right? And this is the headline, emblazoned across this paper at the height of that, right? It was a rainy night, and after a late session at their Abbey Road studios, ending in an argument amongst the Beatles, Paul got into his car and picked up a streetwalker named Rita. There was a song by the Beatles called Lovely Rita. You know that one? Lovely Rita, meet a maid.
What's the next line?
Something, something on the park.
No idea.
You know it. 1, 2, 3,
Hey,
4.
four.
Lovely Rita, meet a maid. Sits on a park bench, thinking about
yellow submarines.
A yellow submarine.
A yellow submarine. I know this one.
It's the Beatles,
Yeah,
yeah.
got it. Okay.
We're fans.
I knew it.
we're super fans.
We're big.
Yeah.
We're big on the Beatles.
Anyway, so he picked this girl Rita up, and then she was like so excited to be picked up by Paul McCartney. He lost control and smashed into a tree.
Wow.
Yeah. He was found 4 hours later, pinned under his car in a culvert. I love that word, culvert.
Don't look for me.
Oh my god.
You're looking down.
That was the greatest fucking look I've ever seen.
I thought I had time. You were looking down.
Okay, this needs to be described. I was in fact looking down and you know, spewing out information, and then I just, you know, for dramatic sort of effect, looked up. Joe's like poised with like an overstuffed spoon full of noodles, like noodles falling off the spoon onto the bar, shoving that into her mouth, and just the panic in your eyes.
I didn't think you'd look.
Don't look at me.
I just didn't think you'd look.
It was great.
Look away.
Oh, so great.
Okay.
Anyway.
Well, that's the last time I have a little snack while you talk.
So anyway, yeah, he was found 4 hours later, pinned under the a culvert. I got all caught up in the word culvert. I love the word culvert.
Definition.
Like a little bunch of bushes on the side of a road,
Okay.
or not even on the side of the road, just like a little, not a forest, not a wood, not a copse,
Hearing a lot of knots. What is
not
it?
any of those things. It's
What
a
is
culvert.
it? What is it? Yes.
It's like 7 bushes. 7 bushes do a culvert make,
Okay.
as they said in the old nursery rhyme,
7
in the old Scottish nursery rhyme.
7 bushes. For some reason, I just feel like I need to take on that Sean Connery. Like,
Yeah.
was he even Scottish?
Yeah, absolutely.
7 bushes does what's the word?
Culvert.
Culvert make.
7 bush. Oh, no, I can't do it. Oh.
7 bushes
7.
does a culvert make.
7 bushels. Oh my god, bushels is not a Scottish word. Anyway, bushels. 7 bushels.
7 bushels
Does a culvert make?
does a culvert make.
What's a culvert?
A culvert is 7 bushels.
How many culverts do a bushel make?
7.
And if I subtracted one, what would I have? Seamus.
6 bushels.
6 bushels does not a culvert
does
make.
not a culvert make.
How many bushels in a culvert, Seamus?
6 plus 1.
7.
7.
That's how we say it round
7
my house.
Mary.
Round my house.
Your name is Mary. 7 Mary.
7 bushels, they say, down the way. Hurrah, hooray! 7 bushels today.
We broke the cycle.
We broke it.
We're like in a bit of a desert.
Yeah. I liked it though.
For like
I
a few
it.
episodes.
Yeah,
we
it's
haven't
fine.
hit anything.
It's okay.
I'm gonna talk it up.
Yeah, talk it up and kill it.
I'm gonna talk.
Yeah, put a fucking knife right through its heart before it's had a chance to learn how to walk. Slit its throat before it's taken its first
Oh
breath.
my god! Look, this is amazing.
What a beautiful baby!
Brad, we did it.
We did it!
We've been waiting weeks. It's here. Hand me that baton.
Shove it down its throat! Well, anyway, what could have been with the 7 bushels? Hurrah, hooray. Anyway, I didn't even get to the fucking gnarly part.
No.
Yeah, so this is the deal, according to him. He was like M15, the British intelligence agency. They believe that people, like hundreds of people, would commit suicide if they found out about this. Yeah, I mean, it's not too crazy. It gets a little weird. So then, a man named Billy Shears, a Scottish lad, funny
Sorry,
enough,
a what lad?
right from my neck of the woods, Scotland.
Scotland.
He was made to fill in under the requisite plastic surgery. He had plastic surgery, he did, Billy Shears. Make him look a little more like Paul. Didn't look too much like Paul at the beginning, no he didn't. Looked a little bit like Franz Kafka.
Oh.
He's
Franz Kafka, did he?
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. Anyway, so this is the deal. So they got this guy, Billy Shears, and they're like, look, you kind of look like Paul. We're gonna fuck with your face a little bit, and you're gonna be the new Paul, because we can't have these people.
We can't have people know that you're dead.
Yeah. So and everybody sort of referred to him as Fall,
Okay.
which is so ridiculous.
Crazy.
Anyway, no. So the Beatles were like, the surviving Beatles were like, oh, we can't deal with this. We have perpetrated this heinous fraud on the people of the world.
Mm-hmm.
And so they felt like maybe they should leave little clues in their songs and album covers.
To rectify what happened.
Just to be like, sorry, we foisted this imposter on the world.
Okay.
Yeah. And so they did.
So tell me some clues.
Yeah. There's a lot of them, actually.
Wow.
So many. Would you like to know some?
Please.
I'll tell you some.
I'd love to hear them.
So, okay, so there's a song called Revolution 9. Are you familiar with that song?
Nope.
Okay. Well, it goes like number 9, number 9, number 9, and then it goes on and say, you want a revolution? Well, you know.
Number 9.
Yep. Not heard.
No.
It's okay.
Clearly never.
Anyway, it doesn't really matter.
Clearly never heard that song in my life.
Doesn't matter. If you play it backwards, though, what it says is, turn me on, dead man. So you play that song backwards, and it's like, turn me on, dead man.
I feel like I've heard this.
You probably have. Yeah. It's very, very, very prevalent.
I've heard this conspiracy theory.
Yeah. So that's just like that. Whatever that means, right?
Yeah.
But if you look at the Abbey Road
turn me
cover,
on, dead man, which is obviously a reference to Dead Paul.
Is it though? I don't know why that would be.
I'm just being sarcastic.
Yeah. But check this out. I'm going to show you a picture.
Okay.
So this is the cover.
We'll be putting this on our Instagram.
Of Abbey Road.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Iconic album cover. You may or may not have seen it.
Yep. And Paul's got bare feet.
Paul's got bare feet. And then
I never knew that about
Look at the license plate of the Volkswagen Bug.
281F.
You know what that means?
28F.
What do you think that means? He would be 28 if he hadn't died. He would have been 28 in this photo. This is not the real Paul. This is Fall.
This is Fall. And then he's got bare feet to draw attention to it.
Also, in certain cultures, Italians specifically, people are buried shoeless. Another thing.
Oh my god, this is just evidence at this point.
Another thing. Should we go to the authorities?
Has anyone told America?
Another thing is, notice that Paul, in heavy...
Let's call him what he is.
Fall. Fall is holding a cigarette in which hand, Joe?
His right hand.
Yeah. Paul McCartney is left-handed.
Oh! Well, obviously it's not him. It's Fall. Fall's left-handed. Fall's right-handed.
Thank you. That's just one example among many.
Holy fucking shit.
Other examples I can regale you with. Are you ready?
Yes.
That was just the Abbey Road album.
List them.
All right. Well, here's another one. This is a deep one. This is like some heavy shit here. All right. This is Sgt. Pepper's Lonely Hearts Club. This is the album cover of Sgt. Pepper's. Okay. Then there's lots going on here.
Oh my god.
I can't see it, so you just kind of like...
Guys, Instagram, find us on Instagram, Sugarfax Taiwan. You're going to love this. So there's a 3-stringed guitar. Apparently, what's that got to do with it?
Okay, so yeah, the flower arrangement at the front. Well, first of all, before you even touch on that, this is all people present at a funeral.
Yes.
That's the patch of ground there, right?
That's where something's been buried.
Something's been buried. So Paul McCartney played the bass. Okay, bass has 4 strings.
Yeah.
The flower arrangement is a bass,
is a 3-string,
but with only 3 strings. Because why?
The owner died.
There's only 3 Beatles left.
Shit. I'm believing it.
All right, what next?
There's the bloody driving glove.
What?
The glove, the driving glove.
What are you talking about? Oh yeah, well, that's a crazy thing. Well, because he was driving.
Yeah,
he was
driving,
killed
and
while
now
driving.
there's a glove with.
He was killed while driving.
What's with the open palm? What is it?
Oh, because in some cultures, an open palm above a head is a death symbol. It's a death symbol.
Yeah.
Open palm above a head. There's many pictures of Paul McCartney McCartney.
With an open palm above his head.
Palm above his head. Many, many pictures like that.
Brian, I'm swayed. I'm swayed.
What else can you...
11. What's Lonely Hearts?
Oh, so if you so on the drum, on the bass drum, in the middle it says Lonely Hearts. If you put like a mirror, like bisected in half, it says 11, 9.
He died.
He died.
That's fucking crazy.
What else? Is there anything else? I can't actually see the picture.
Oh, God. What does black core on glass mean?
What? This one,
black core on glass. Anglais black core.
Oh, that's a typo.
Wait, did you draw this yourself? This graphic?
No, you think I'm fucking crazy now?
Well, that's what I was thinking. I was like, wow, that's fucking... You just created really original content for the Instagram.
Well, that's what I'll do next time.
Okay.
Anyway, and more shit like that. Right?
Amazing.
Yeah, so, Fall gradually took over Paul's life. He inherited a prominent position in the public eye. From that position, he could abuse that influence. Okay, so Paul, he wanted to uplift humanity. But Fall promoted LSD use, and I quote, LSD use, Obama, and the disarmament agenda.
Wow.
Motherfucker.
That's all you need to know.
Yeah. So this guy fucking Fall
He
is
sounds like a real piece of work.
a piece of shit, man. Everybody drop acid and be fond of Obama and also no nukes.
Let's not have nuclear weapons.
Yeah.
This guy sounds like the worst kind of
It's
person.
an evil thing that, and I'm glad that we're finally talking about it. I'm glad this stuff is getting out
Let's
there.
blow this wide open.
Now I would like you to read the next part.
I have listened to the Beatles for as long as I can remember. The fondest memory I have of their music was when I was 7 years old, going through the records and LPs at home. From there, I grew a love for their music that has always stayed with me. There isn't much I can say about Fall. I simply don't have any respect for the guy. How can you live with yourself, lying and conning people to make a mockery of the real Beatles? He probably feels entitled because he thinks he is the one who is keeping the memory of the Fab Four alive, all while trashing their image. Meanwhile, Ringo is not allowed to give any interviews because his stories will be different from Fall's. Personally, I call that a bully, but grant that some of Fall's music is good and most of it is just emotionless and serves as an elite agent. It was his job to come in and ruin the once happy image of the Beatles. Most of his songs are low vibrations. He isn't incapable of creating anything the originals could because what they had was a gift. It's quite easy to get lost in the post-66 image of the Beatles because it's heavily promoted in the media and most people tend to prefer it, well, the sheep, that is. However, if you go back to the start, pre-66, you'll see what the Beatles were really all about. Love, happiness, and friendship. They didn't sell out because if they had, they wouldn't have been able to create some really happy music. Once you sell out to the elite, then everything that comes from you is dark. There's a coldness to Fall's eyes, but when you look at Paul, there's a warmth to him, and that goes to all of them. I made this up. Eyes are the windows to the soul. I'll go one more paragraph. I have to scroll.
Oh my god. Is that not done?
One more sentence. Like all good things, they didn't last, especially in a world full of evil. But that's the thing, good always overcomes evil. Everything will come to light, and the truth will be exposed. We're coming for you, Fall. Okay.
So, anyway, Paul McCartney, according to some people, was replaced in 1966. Do you think?
My sugar facts?
Yeah. No, you're fucking...
Accent?
No, you're...
Conspiracy there?
Yeah. The thing that we're here for. Wrap it up.
This whole thing, like, just do the thing.
Do the thing that we're here for.
Right.
Do you have anything to conspiracize about?
I do. I actually have one of the few conspiracy theories in the world that is not tainted by anti-Semitism. One of the few.
What a refreshing moment we're about to have.
One of the few. So I chose this one because I feel like you and I have kind of talked about it before. Where I'm always like, did we land on the moon?
Oh.
No. Did we?
Right.
By which I mean you.
And I'm always
did
like, do you
the
believe
US
in
actually land on the moon?
Right.
So I'm going to delve now into the conspiracy theories behind, the main conspiracy theory behind the moon landing.
Before you start,
please jump in.
How do you believe that?
So this is why I think I have like an emotional skepticism. It's not an intellectual one, it's like an emotional thing. When I was a kid, I watched a documentary which was like, now I'm like, obviously it wasn't a documentary, it was like fucking conspiracy. Well, it was like
cartoon.
Conspiracy documentary theory shit.
Okay.
And I watched it all the way through and it basically talked about a lot of the stuff that I'm about to talk about.
How old were you?
It was when SARS was happening. I know that because we were in quarantine at the time. So when did SARS happen? I was like, I was like fucking year 5. So I was like 11.
Okay.
Yeah, some around that time.
Right.
And basically I remember distinctly
I was 47.
I was 103. And that documentary was talking about this mysterious death of this guy, and I remember sitting there just rapt, like, oh my God, I didn't realize we didn't land on the moon. That's what me as a child watching this being like, I didn't realize we didn't land on the moon. And then that has been a permanent burden that I've carried my whole life. Like, I've never shaken it. Even though I'm like, intellectually, I'm like, yeah, I mean, I'm sure we did. Emotionally, I'm always like, did we though? And that is 100% because I watched this when I was a kid. That aside,
let's get into it.
So, on the 20th of July, 1969, the crew of the Apollo 11 apparently landed on the moon. Armstrong notified Houston, cut that out, Max, that sounds terrible. Armstrong notified Houston with the historic words. What were they?
Houston, we've landed on the moon.
So close. It was actually Houston Tranquility Base here. The Eagle has landed.
Oh, right. Yeah.
So some people were skeptical already at that point that the feat was technologically possible.
Were they? Who was skeptical at that point?
I will get into it if you let me talk. This is not the strongest example from the outset, but the James Bond movie Diamonds Are Forever.
Okay.
Oh, you sit down. Sit down.
I'm listening.
The James Bond movie Diamonds Are Forever, for example, had a joke about a faked moon landing.
When did that come out?
2 years later in 1971.
Okay, sorry. I won't interrupt again.
That's fine.
I might.
You know who isn't interrupting anymore? My guys. Oh, damn it! Cool.
Encore.
I thought I had it. I thought I could just rub that in.
That was amazing.
Shit. Okay, so some people were a bit skeptical. The movie comes out 2 years later.
Right.
Then came Bill Kaysing, a former scientist that actually contributed to the US space program between the mid-50s and mid-60s. He self-published in 1976 a pamphlet called We Never Went to the Moon. Love the name. I'm like, I just like, I like imagining him brainstorming. Just like,
what do I call
this? And he's, as a placeholder, he's like, well, we never went to the moon. And then it gets to the night before publication, he's like, fuck it. That's it. So he published a pamphlet, like, what was it? 69 to 76. So 7 years later. His argument was basically that through his experience and conversations with other scientists, the technology just wasn't there to get a crew to the moon and back again. Yes.
Through his experience.
Because he was a scientist on the space program.
Oh, okay.
And then he had spoken with other scientists.
Okay.
He was like, we just didn't have the technology. That's what his thing is. That NASA was still a mess back then. And he's like, and you want us to believe that we managed to get people all the way to the moon, on the moon, and then all the way back again. Right. First try. Look, when we get to the end, you'll see why I'm a little skeptical. He also cited things like a lack of stars in lunar surface photographs, absence of blast craters and dust clouds with the landing situation. He had something to say about like the way that shadows fall in the photos. And then there was also the mysterious death of Thomas Barron, a quality control and safety inspector for the North American Aviation. That's it, full stop.
Nah.
I feel like I'm missing something, but it's just
North American Aviation.
NAA. Nah. So what he instead thought happened was that, this is his quote, the astronauts were launched with the Saturn V. Then, in order to account for their disappearance, they simply orbited the Earth for 8 days. And in the interim, they showed these fake pictures of the astronauts on the moon. But on the 8th day, the command console separated from the vehicle and descended to Earth, as, of course, was shown in the films. So it was like they went for a joyride, they came back, they said they went to the moon.
Sure.
So then came this 1978 film that portrays a fake landing on Mars, and then the X-Files with its own space conspiracies.
The X-Files, the TV science fiction program.
So basically so that's kind of like he published We Never Went to the Moon, and then, or We Never Landed on the Moon, whatever. And then basically pop culture got involved.
Oh, okay. Right.
So there was a movie about a fake Mars landing, there's the X-Files, and then basically ever since then, suspicion about the moon landing has been a part of pop culture ever since. Opinion polls over the years regularly show around 5% of Americans believe the Apollo moon landings were faked, which is more than 16 million Americans.
A lot of people. How many of those are in assisted living?
70%.
Yeah, okay.
Possibly. Thing is, it's not just Americans. Last year, a British daytime TV show welcomed a guest who argued that no one could have walked on the moon as the moon is made of light.
Light?
Mm-hmm. He sees what we cannot see.
Okay.
Mate, you walk out there right now, it's a full moon.
Where's the light coming from?
The inside of the light.
Yeah, inside the moonlight. I get it.
You know what I mean? You can't walk on that.
Okay, anyway. But
He knows what he's talking about.
It's doubtful you... sorry.
What?
Who was the guest? You said a guest.
Just I could guess. I don't know the exact name. It's an anecdote, Brian. Don't dig. Don't dig in. Don't try and ask for clarification about anecdotes, please. A recent poll found that 1 in 6 British people agreed with the statement the moon landings were staged. 1 in 6. In fact, 1/5 of 24 to 35-year-olds agreed the moon landings were staged.
We're doomed.
Mate, I'm one of them, kind of, apparently.
No,
maybe.
I know.
I don't even know what I believe.
We are doomed.
It's convincing. All I'm saying is convincing. Oliver Morton.
It's fucking alcohol.
Yeah, you're just like, give me a shot, please. Oliver Morton, the author of a book, The Moon, A History for the Future, believes that persistence of the moon hoax isn't actually surprising. So he says that he puts the pictures as it's one of two things. So given an implausible event for which there is lots of evidence, so Apollo 11 landing on the moon, compared to a plausible event for which there is zero evidence, the hoax, people will opt for the latter.
Sure.
Does that make sense?
It does.
Yeah.
It does.
So we're like, well, there's no evidence, but that seems more likely that it was faked than we made it to the moon.
Thanks.
Welcome! You can just push. Come on in. Whoa.
That's quite a trick.
Yeah. 10 hours.
Yeah.
20? How many?
I left at 3.
Did you leave at 3? Hi. I'm Brian.
You remember Tom?
Yeah, for sure.
I've met you before.
He said before, he was like, yeah, I remember Tom. He said my voice sounded nice.
Yeah.
I didn't say that. I don't know what you're talking about. That's
Don't deny it
crazy.
now.
Anyway.
Well, Tom, how are you feeling? Would you like a drink?
Sure.
Great.
Yeah, great.
Joe's a bartender tonight,
Yeah.
so pull up a.
Okay.
So maybe introduce yourself. Hey, welcome to Sugar Facts. This is Tom.
Hello, Sugar Facts people.
Yep.
Yeah, that's pretty much.
That's how they like to be referred to.
Alright, let me just think about this, because we're really on the milk-based and dessert. Now it's dessert time. Dessert is, Brian's hearing this for the first time, waffles and chocolate ice cream and peaches and banana and whipped cream.
Jesus fucking
That sounds pretty good.
Tuesday.
What the fuck is going on?
I know.
Peaches?
Tuesday. I know. I got peaches. So,
I'm excited for pancakes and peaches and ice
Make
cream
waffles.
and cream.
it's been
Good.
crazy.
Haven't.
Oh!
God. Wait. Presentation
You haven't
went
had dinner.
from
Touch in your hand. Yeah,
Yeah.
perfect. No forks. So just have fun
Just
with
with
that.
your hands?
Yep. Much better than Tom's.
Amazing.
A little bit.
Amazing.
Wow.
Amazing. Thank you so
Happy
much.
dessert.
So what we have here is 2 pan-fried waffles with a bit of chocolate ice cream smashed between them,
Mhm.
peach halves, slathered in whipped cream. This is the dessert. This was the chef's choice dessert that I requested.
Yeah. So basically, tonight's
Yeah.
dinner is
Amazing.
chef's.
Fucking amazing.
So what happened was last week when we were
I'm going to put one of these peaches in my drink.
Brian requested dinner.
Mhm.
This is what I want next week. Tudor style.
How conversant are you with the Tudor period of England?
Question.
Actually, you're British. So you come
Yeah.
in way
I've
more
been
than
to
we do.
some National Trust
Yeah?
Tudor buildings.
Okay.
Okay, so you can.
So is this an approximation of what they ate for dessert?
It's pretty close.
Pretty close,
It's
right?
Pretty close, yeah.
Yeah, I think she fucking nailed it. I
Yeah.
think she nailed it.
Is this the
That's
John
Wayne
Wayne or whatever?
Stevens.
That's John Wayne.
What? That's Wayne Stevens. John Wayne is what Brian's got.
You gotta add
The
it.
shitty,
cream-filled peach.
shitty older brother.
oh
You don't like it? You don't like the Wayne Stevens?
no, that was like a sorry, the tone came out wrong.
That is so good. I love it. You guys are.
I think the
How have you not won any awards yet?
I think the problem is Tom's got one with not real ice.
No,
That's the
you
problem.
put the fake guys.
Yeah.
Don't put the fake guys when we have company. What are you doing?
They couldn't find real ice. I could only find the shaved ice. Look away!
It's fantastic.
It's so good.
Yeah, it's great. It's fucking amazing.
We don't know how to tackle the peaches, though. That's the issue.
Yeah.
Because you guys have yours on the side. I just
Yeah.
went straight for putting it in.
I think you swallow them whole. That's
Just
how you do that.
eat off the plate.
Eat your whole fucking peas and hope you don't choke
You
it out.
will choke.
You have to choke. You have to choke.
Add more cream.
Oh, yeah. It's like walking through nothing.
Tom, this is what you're working with.
Yeah.
This is what you traveled 6 hours to come and see.
Fucking sublime.
After I keep reminding you.
Fucking sublime. Doesn't matter what you do. Doesn't matter what you do. Doesn't matter what you accomplish in your life, son. It all comes down to
what.
Whenever in doubt, fill your mouth full of whipped cream. Everything will work out just fine.
So comparatively, how does this compare to the normal, like,
I feel like we're on our best behavior because we got company.
well, I appreciate
Normally, it's way more fucking worse than this. You know what I mean? But now we're like kind of self-conscious.
Now
I don't know what to say.
classy.
I'm watching you both grab like waffles just with your hands, like dipped in ice cream,
Exactly.
shoving it into your mouth.
Exactly.
If this is like low end,
This
Right,
is
intrigued.
just keeping it
you
classy.
should film this instead of like just record it.
Yeah. Look.
When Joe told me we were gonna have company tonight, I was like, "Well, break out the fucking champagne and the fucking
And I will
napkins."
wash my tubs.
Oh, napkins, huh?
Yeah.
Are
you enjoying your napkins?
Mm.
We don't normally have
Yeah,
those.
right.
There's more if you want them.
Be honest.
We splurged tonight.
I've done the washing up already.
Yeah. Normally it's fucking pop. Oh, look, man, that's cool.
Oh, dear.
No. This is amazing. This is fucking
Dessert,
amazing.
right?
Oh my
Look,
God.
we've got so many more waffles if you guys want second.
Jesus fucking Christ, yes.
Mm-hmm.
I remember.
Hey, Tom.
Hey, yeah, we have to introduce you. So, Tom,
Okay.
welcome to
This
the
is our
podcast.
special guest for episode 8.
Tom is our official first Sugar Facts guest.
Ooh,
Welcome,
Officially,
Tom.
yes, that's true, actually.
Mm.
Tell us a little bit about yourself. What have you ever hung up a cliff in India?
No, but I met a guy once. It was a fascinating story.
Okay, yeah.
It was like, I don't know. I'm sure he'll tell you.
Okay, anyway.
I'm sure he'll tell you.
All right.
Okay.
My sugar fact is that from the sugarcane pulp, after they extract the sugar, they make a paper, and like the paper from the sugarcane is like heat resistant. It's got like it's water resistant, and they use it for origami, for like special kind of origami
Do they?
pieces
Wild.
that need like I don't know flames or water inside.
That is a wild
Yeah.
sugar fact.
Yeah, and it's also a more environmentally friendly way of making paper as opposed to cutting down trees because they're using the old
Sugarcane,
pulp
yeah.
from sugarcane.
So it's old pulp. It's like waste. Otherwise.
Yeah, it's the waste. It's the waste side.
It's
Yeah.
classic salt plastics.
I'm told.
Pitch it.
I'm told that you brought an example tonight.
I have. Yeah. It looks like a tissue, but
Yeah.
but trust me, it is.
So for the listeners out there, Tom is taking a everyday random piece of tissue paper.
Except it's made from cane sugar, right?
This is a cane sugar paper, cane paper,
cane pulp.
cane
paper.
pulp,
Yeah.
and he's going to show us how it's done.
The only trouble is there's a fan here. That's the.
It's just
Not
an
a-
added obstacle.
No.
It's a poor craftsman
yeah.
that blames the surroundings.
tools.
I think I can make something.
You're such dicks.
Yeah.
Like, you're a poor craftsman if you don't do this.
Okay. Can you see what that is?
Oh yeah. Oh, that's lovely.
Do you see what it is?
Yeah. It's a. Well,
It's a
you tell me
ghost
what it is.
in a beautiful jacket.
It's a T-shirt. But like the
yeah.
paper's the wrong size. So like there's the collars.
Yeah.
See, it's a little T-shirt.
That's cute.
Yeah. There you go. From
Okay.
sugar cane paper.
That's amazing.
Wow.
That's amazing. That's
Super
amazing.
rad. Great sugar fact, Tom. Thank
Good job,
you.
Tom.
Welcome.
Brian, what's your sugar fact?
My sugar fact is that in Tudor England, because I
Oh, Tudor-based themes. Well done.
Absolutely.
Well done.
One of the queens back then. Don't ask me what her name was.
One of them.
One of them. I think it was. Well, we called her Lizzie back then. All right, let me start over.
Yeah.
So in the Tudor period, sugar was such a commodity that the nobility wanted to sort of let everybody know that they were rich because sugar was very expensive. So one of the side effects back in the day of high sugar consumption was your teeth would turn black. Your teeth would turn black because there wasn't crest. They didn't have toothbrushes, right? So it became a fashion in court for the ladies of the court to blacken their teeth. To sort of show that, like,
You're
They
rich
could eat
enough
sugar.
to have
check it out.
sugar.
I am really rich. Look how disgusting my teeth are.
Boys, hit me up.
Yeah.
Wow, guys, you did really well. I'd memorize mine, but mine's a bit more sophisticated. So, well, my sugar fact.
Yeah. It seems like.
This happens every week.
Yeah.
Okay, so refined sugar has no nutritional value besides empty calories. It does not contain any vitamins, minerals, enzymes, fats, or fiber. Everything beneficial is actually removed by the refining process. In fact, they did like a research project, whatever, and animals lived longer on just a water diet than water mixed with sugar. That's how non-nutritional sugar is.
Is that true?
Yep.
Okay, well, that checks out.
That's what the internet said.
That's what the internet said. Okay.
This is like, there's nothing to be gained from sugar, basically.
This kind of sounds like the definition of what sugar is. And you guys, this is the 8th time, so you've read 14 sugar facts already. I wonder what the other 14 facts are before you get to the
16,
point.
maybe.
Well, no, because this is it now.
Oh,
before you get to the point where
okay,
you
sorry,
define what actual sugar is.
Yeah,
I'd love
that's
to know
true.
what it
That's how long it's taken. It's like, we're so,
Just so you know.
out of sugar facts, we're just down a definition.
How dare you?
God damn it, Tom.
How dare you? I've got 17 more sugar facts in my fucking back pocket right now.
I could just whip out anything.
I could, but I won't, because I'm saving them for future episodes.
Yeah, I've got more interesting sugar facts than that. You think that's not interesting? Wait till you hear the next one.
Sugar on Mars. Sugar in the middle of the earth. Sugar mined by dwarves. I could go on, but I won't.
I won't, because I don't want to give
But
it
I
to
won't.
him. You know what I mean?
Yeah, okay.
Yeah.
He's not. He's a hater. He's not a fan.